My loyal subjects, I have been advised that this past weekend you have celebrated Father's Day. And now, in isolation, I've had opportunity to reflect upon my father and of being a father. As you will be aware, I am a great student of theology. It was, in fact, in the Orthodox Church that they did first seek to celebrate fatherhood. Going back way in history, they did have their Sunday of the Forefathers. It did fall after the second weekend of Nativity between the 11th and the 17th of December. It was then that they did celebrate the fathers of the church. For it was said that in their seed will be blessed all the nations of the world. And I have thought long upon my father. Gathered unto God these past several years, I saw very little of my father as a boy, for I was raised by my mother in her court, her predominantly female courts at Eltham. 'Twas not until the death of my beloved brother, Arthur, Prince of Wales, that I truly came into the company of my father, for 'twas then, as the heir, it was necessary for me to be trained in the art of kingship. Do we ever really know our fathers? Do our children ever really know us? My father, a brave man, a valiant man, who secured the crown of England by battle, and indeed against the Cornish rebels did fight to preserve his crown. His death in April of 1509, we did, of necessity, have to conceal his death, so that my Plantagenet relatives could not make a search for the crown. For nigh on 3 days I was hid in the Tower of London, whilst my father did lie cold and dead. I was never able to mourn properly of my father, and I often reflect upon it. But now, I am indeed a father, and it may be of interest to you, my loyal subjects, for it was in the year of 1508, 1 year before I did ascend to the throne, that the Catholic Church, Holy Catholic and Mother Church, did adopt Father's Day. Aye, the Festival of Fathers was held upon the 19th of March. It is then that we are all to reflect upon being fathers. For the 19th of March is the feast of St. Joseph, the putative father of Christ. And it is on that 19th of March that all fathers are venerated. I wonder if my children do venerate me. A king needs an heir. If a king cannot have an heir, all matters as naught. A king's most important possession is an heir. A king does not marry necessarily for love. He does marry to secure an heir. I did marry Aragon in the year of 1509, formerly my brother's wife. I did love her. Of all the women in the world, it was she I did choose. 6 times. 6 times Aragon did bear me a child, and naught but one survived. The Princess Mary, born in the year of 1516, a girl. A girl. England cannot have a queen. For England to have a queen, England would be weak. 'Tis a boy, a prince, a son that I desired, and yet all of my sons were dead. You know of what transpired. Of necessity I did cast the Spanish cow away to secure of an heir. I did marry the Mistress Boleyn 3 times. 3 times that poisoning witch and whore Boleyn did bear of me a child 3 times, and all save one were dead. The Princess Elizabeth, a girl. Am I not a man? All the world has a son, and yet I had none. You know what did befall Boleyn. And thence I did marry of the kindly Jane, the beloved Jane, the pure, the chastened, the honest Jane, and she did give unto me that greatest gift, a son, the Prince Edward, born upon the feast of St. Edward. We did name him Edward, and we did rejoice at last, my people. They did have good cause to rejoice. A son, lawfully begotten, born of the king's body, a son. Thus, upon Father's Day, I do think of my children, my heir, the Prince Edward, the Lady Mary, who is now bastardized. For when I did cast away the Spanish cow, Mary was bastardized, and similarly, the Lady Elizabeth, bastardized, when that poisoning witch and whore did lose of her head. But it does seem that in your time you do celebrate Father's Day not in December, as the ancients did, not in March, as we did. It seems that you do celebrate it in June. I did make inquiry of a necromancer, who did tell me that in your time this celebration of fatherhood is indeed quite modern, and did come into common usage after a great cataclysmic event that the necromancer did tell me was World War II. I know of many wars, but I know not of World War II. Safe to say, as sons, we should indeed venerate of our fathers, fathers here upon the earth, and fathers now gathered unto God. I do entreat you all, my loyal subjects, in this time of isolation, to reflect upon the nature of your families, and may God bless you all. My loyal subjects, we do hope that you enjoy our videos. We do aim to release a video twice a week. And should you wish to subscribe to my YouTube channel as indicated below, we'd be most grateful. There you may see all of our past films and those that are yet to come.